I want to start by giving my thanks to Aces and Queens, Tita Jerry. I owe most of my pageant journey to them because they really saw a queen in me before I even saw it on myself. And I remember Tita Jerry and Sir Wendell who were telling me that the moment they met me and talked to me, they already saw a crown on my head. And I'm really grateful that they believed in me before I even believed in myself. And I'd also like to thank my parents who, as you can tell, I got my comm skills from them. And they've been very supportive in this journey. And again, they've kept me grounded. And my whole life, they've been supportive of everything I set my eye into. That's why I did ballet, that's why I got into UP Diliman. It's because of them. It's because they never stopped me from dreaming. It's because they never told me that I couldn't do something. They allowed me to dream and chase my passions, and for that I'm forever grateful. I'm so thankful for my fellow queens, for also Sila Erica, my friends in the pageant journey. They saw me grow up as a baby pageant queen, and now that I am a reigning queen for Miss World Philippines, I'm so grateful to hear their stories and be able to have a platform to amplify other people's voices. And I said this in my final interview before, what I learned from my pageant journey with these girls, I learned what it meant to be a woman. It's really about sharing your stories of struggle and success so that other women know that they're not alone, that they don't have to struggle alone. And when you stand up for yourself in your life, you stand up for an entire generation of women, and that's what I saw with these girls. So I'm so happy that they get to speak up in this platform and that they continue to speak up. And I'd also like to thank the Miss World organization for continually trusting me and validating me, because even if I know that I'm a pageant newbie and this is my first time on the international stage, they've always been telling me, you know what, Allison, you are Miss Supranational 2022. You have what it takes. All you need to do is believe in yourself. And that's the boost I really need to make it all the way to Poland and bring home our second crown. Yes. And I'd also like to thank Gabby. Where's Gabby? Gabby's my boyfriend, and he's been one of my biggest supporters in this entire journey. He now has a lot of pageant opinions. He's very well educated, so you can ask him who his favorite beauty queen is, besides me. So I'm really happy for his hatid sundo love language, and that he's continually silenced all the noises, especially with social media. It's easy for me to get distracted with all the opinions, but he's always told me that I can just focus on myself and focus on the competition so that I can bring home the crown. And lastly, I said this in my intro video, but I know that in the Philippines, I've seen so many strong women and so many strong, inspirational and aspirational women. And I can't wait for the world to see what one of us can do. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much, Mami Shandy, for being here. Thank you so much, Sir Arnold, for choosing me to be Mr. Supranational Philippines. Thank you so much, Ryan. Thank you so much for the team, Miss World Philippines. They're very supportive to me, and thank you for being there for me. And thank you so much, Cassandra, for being there for me all the time. She's a very nice girl. My message to everybody that I always want them to always follow their hearts, do what they really want in life, and to pursue their dreams, because we only have one life to live, and live it without regrets. Because one day we'll grow old, we realize like what we left at the back of our life, we didn't achieve it, and that's why sometimes the regrets can come to our life. So that's my advice to them and my message to everybody. And I also want to my message to everyone that thank you so much for supporting me and Allison, and please keep supporting us on our journey. And thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Raed. Now let's call on.
Two of you. Of course, I'll start with the guys first, and I'll leave the more difficult question to Allison. Raed, my question for you is this. What good will it do for the Mr. Supranational organization to have you as a potential winner?
Could you please repeat the question?
I know, parang final Q&A. What good will it do for the Mr. Supranational organization in Poland to have you as a potential winner of their title?
I think it's my story because I want to inspire the kids who are abused, the kids who suffer from bullying and discrimination. So it's gonna be like helping a lot of kids, not only kids, even people that are suffering, or we can inspire them to do their best to heal and to be a better version of themselves. Thank you.
All right. Let's ask Allison. This is a little more personal question. Remember during the press presentation at Okada, I told you that my doctor niece knows you because both of you went to Bloomsfield Academy in Las Piñas. And then when you finally won Miss Supranational Philippines, the mother of my niece, my sister, told me, I knew from the start that she will win because she is a very competitive lady. So my question is this. How competitive are you really as a person, Allison? Kasi, na-curious ako, habi kasi yung sister ko, ay napaka-competitive niya. Sabi ko, how? Ask her. That's why I'm asking you now.
You can see my parents laughing at that question. You can imagine as a bunso growing up with 5 brothers, how competitive I can be. But I've always been the type to be secretly competitive. So throughout the entire competition, even like I guess in grade school, because this was in school, you can tell how competitive I was in terms of intramurals or being part of student council. But I was never one to show it outright. But you can tell that I'm always in my head thinking of strategies and thinking of how to get ahead, because I say this a lot in my intro videos. I always strive for excellence. I keep trying to prove myself in different aspects of my life. So it really born out of growing up with 5 brothers and trying to have a voice among all of these men in my life, and that really showed my feistiness at a young age.
So, just a quick follow-up lang. What is it with being a ballerina that somehow it formed part of your life? Up to now, the way you move, the way you walk, the way you glide like a gazelle. What is it about ballerina that, of course, initially I think your parents taught you or encouraged you, oh, you're the only girl, be a ballerina. Pero you personally, what did you learn from ballet that any other person except for you and Cassandra, maybe, because both of you do ballet?
Well, contrary to popular belief, actually, I was the one who told my parents I wanted to do ballet. And it was only because I watched Barbie Swan Lake. That was literally it, because none of my family, I'm not related to any dancers. It's not a thing in our family to dance. So I literally just watched that movie and I told my parents I want to dance ballet. And what it really taught me was the beauty of chasing your passions, because I knew from my first few ballet classes that it was something I wanted to do. You could look for my kindergarten graduation video and it's me saying I want to be a ballerina when I grow up. And I'm so glad that my parents, despite being Filipino, didn't force me out of the path of pursuing a career in the arts. And one of the biggest things I learned from being in ballet is, of course, the discipline. And also being yourself. Because in ballet, it's a very, people call it a selfish art. Because you're really competing with yourself. If someone else, if you're not dancing, someone else will replace you. And so it requires a lot of discipline, a lot of hard work. And that's something I really took away from my ballet classes and something I apply in the rest of the aspects of my life. And I really think that my ballet training is the reason why I got to make it into UP Diliman. It's the reason why I got to start my own business. And it's the reason why I got a crown today. It's because I know the importance of loving what you do but still working hard at it.
So congratulations again to the both of you. Best of luck. And first request from the media, the minute the two of you are together in Poland, have a picture of the two of you taken side by side. Because I know that you will make us proud. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, Allison and Raed, Adam Hinata from Hey Adam G. I would like to ask, what's your game plan for your upcoming competition? Kay Allison to be specific, kasi you'll be up against Amazonas from the Asian region pa lang, with the likes of Vietnam, Thailand, and even alumni from the Miss Universe pageant last time. And you, Raed, how do you plan to adapt your strategy considering that you also be up against formidable competitors from Venezuela, Peru, Argentina, and USA?
Okay, I'll start. In the Miss World Philippines pageant, a lot of people have called me a dark horse, considering that I won a crown as a pageant newbie. And I think the strategy that I would have to compete with all of these pageant veterans is the same strategy I had in Miss World Philippines, which is just to focus on myself, make sure that when given the chance, on stage or in any challenge, that I try to stand out, that I do my best, but I stay my authentic self. Because a lot of times when people get competitive, they lose the reason why they're there in the pageant and they lose their authentic selves. And I find that it's important for me to be genuine, for me to be relatable, and for me to be likable, especially to the organization. And when I think about the pageant veterans in Supranational, I think they are hungry for a win, for sure. But I think how I can tackle that is, I know that I'm also hungry for a win. I'm also hungry to give back the crown to the Philippines. And I know that if I focus on myself, again, I'm like a horse. I'm just focusing on the crown, focusing on what matters, and trying to filter out all the voices and all the opinions that are going towards my direction. And if I focus and if I do it for the Philippines, then I know I can do well in the competition.
So my strategy, I will start by cooking for them every day. So my strategy is that I want to show them, I want to be myself. I want to show them how devoted I am to my job. I will show them I need to dress up properly for every event. I want to show them that I can blend easily with everybody. Most of all, I want to show them who I am, kind and good person. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm Nolly, very also for OPMB Worldwide. First question to Ms. Allison. Okay, Allison, how do you see your life change from being the simple Allison that your family and and friends knew to being the new national beauty queen title holder?
I'm actually not used to having all eyes on me. Especially on social media, I'm really not used to posting an Instagram story and then in 5 minutes, it's all over pageant media, and my social media is getting so much traction and so much views. So I'm not used to the feeling of people watching me and people watching my every move. So I guess that's what has changed. But I feel that with that, I feel a lot of support. Compared to when I competed in Miss World Philippines, I feel so much more people backing me up and believing in me, even if they're complete strangers. So that's something that I really look forward to.
Okay, just a follow-up question. What do you consider the most important or relevant manifestation during the course of MWP that probably you can bring to the super stage and will help you to get the title?
Sorry, did you say relevant manifestation?
What do you consider the most important or relevant manifestation during the course of Miss World Philippines? when you were still a candidate?
Yeah. I guess it was very important for me to bet on myself, because there are a lot of people who are willing to bet on me. That I remember I was so at awe with the fact that they were betting on me. It was like I was in disbelief. Why would you put that much trust in me? Why would you put so much money in my journey when you don't know if I'm gonna win? But that's when I saw that other people had so much confidence in me and so much confidence that I could win a crown. And if I could channel that kind of belief that they have in me with my own journey in Miss World Philippines and in Miss Supranational Miss Supranational rather, then I really know I could make it far, because that kind of power is not something you can give someone else. It's really something you have to learn for yourself.
Thank you very much. And for Raed, you look like 100% Mediterranean guy. So, how are you going to show your being a Filipino when you get there in Auckland?
I'll show it through my characters, because my heart is very Filipino, and the way I care and take care of people is a very Filipino, and being hospitable also.
Wow. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Hello, good afternoon. Hi, Mars. Good afternoon. It's Raed. Mama Shanti told us kanina that you represent different countries now that you are representing the Philippines. What Filipino characteristics are you proud of? And why?
The most favorite characteristic I like about Filipinos is the way my mom cared about us, and that's something it's very very natural in Filipino mothers, that they care about people, and that's why from her I learned how to take care of the people around me.
Congratulations, Raed.
Thank you.
Good luck. And Mars, Allison, since day one, di ba, tatlo talaga kayo yung magkagrupo, and nung screening, tatlo din kayong sabay-sabay na tinawag. So, yun na naaalala ko yun. Congratulations, Mars, Allison. Ang first question is that you are now from a typical girl, now that you are a queen. Paano mo ngayon nahahandle yung social media?
That's a very good question. I remember the first time I told Tita Jerry that I wanted to join a pageant, he was telling me, okay, one rule, don't read the comments. And at the time, I was like, oh, that's ridiculous. I don't have that many followers. No one's watching me naman. I won't get hate comments. But when I won Miss Supranational Philippines, that's when I understood why they gave me that advice. So the way I handle it now is I try, while I'm still training and going towards the Miss Supranational pageant, I try to avoid looking at comments or watching videos. It's not that I'm not open to criticism. So I really ask for feedback from the people I know who want to build me up. But you see, in social media, not everyone is there to build you up. So I try not to read so much, just for my mental health and also for my strategy. I feel like I need to be focused on what's important. And if I take in too many comments at the same time, I feel like I will lose myself. And so it's really important for me to filter that out.
And for my final question is, why should you be our next Miss Supranational that will bring second crown to the Philippines?
I love that question. Okay. I think what makes me a Miss Supranational is my story. I am aspirational in a sense that I'm a big dreamer. I chase my passions in ballet, in school, and I've made that into my own business as an entrepreneur. But I don't keep it at that. I think that when we aspire to do something, we have to lift other people with us. And wherever you are, whatever job you may have, the job that we have is to make the table for that particular job bigger. We need to normalize equal opportunity. And I think as a Miss Supranational, I can achieve that, especially with my advocacy for women-led businesses and women's financial independence. And I think that as an aspirational and inspirational woman, I am Miss Supranational. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Hi, Raed and Allison. Good afternoon, and congratulations in advance from the Crown Philippines. This is great fun. Raed, at 30, definitely we've already planned out our lives very well. So if you win Mr. Supranational, which of your plans will you be letting go? And obviously, you're willing to let go.
To let go of something.
You're willing not to let go.
And willing to let go.
Willing to let go and willing not to let go.
Okay. I think I'm willing to keep inspiring people. That's what I really want to do in my life. To let go of something. Maybe one day if I decided to have my own family. So you have to be more focused on them. So there are things you have to let go. Maybe let's say maybe showbiz life. Because sometimes when you get older in life, you realize that the dreams is not you anymore. It's the kids you have to raise to make them a better kids in society.
Thank you. For Allison, you mentioned about Mr. Supranational's theme of being an aspirational and inspirational woman. So for you, which of your aspirations have been most inspirational for you?
I think it's really me starting my own business while chasing my passion. For those who don't know, I am a former professional ballet dancer, and I stopped dancing professionally at the age of around 19. And that really felt like I was missing, especially in my college life. And I ran away from my passions because I thought that maybe it wasn't made for me. So I really thought that I should just go corporate because I was a business major in college. But what I did learn over the pandemic is that I can incorporate my strengths. I can be a business-oriented person while still chasing something that I'm so passionate about. And so I think what really makes me inspirational is that I still incorporated my passions. I own my own ballet school now. And so I'm so much happier because I'm surrounded by the arts while still being able to finance my own life and inspire other people to achieve their own financial independence. And I want to see that in other women as well.
Thank you. Congratulations again in advance.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else from our media friends who want to ask questions before we finally close off this segment and move on to the next part of our
I have a
program?
question for Raed. Raed, I'm just curious. I'm curious about your physical transformation because I just thought that it was so amazing, you know. So, was there anybody in particular who inspired you? Somebody who you could say became your role model? Like, was it some actor? Was it an athlete? A martial artist, maybe, that made you say, "Shucks, I want to be like that guy." Was there anyone?
No, actually, when I was young, I would see celebrities in TV, and I said, maybe one day I'll have that body. So one day when I came to the Philippines, I went to a talent manager asking him, I want to be an actor, and he said, you will never be an actor like that.
Really?
So that's why the next day I took my bag and went to the gym, and from that moment I started to enjoy it, and I realized that if you really want something in life, you have to push yourself and motivate yourself to do better and to achieve that.
So you didn't have any specific role models?
No, I did it for myself.
Okay.
All right, so I think we have one last question from the Jerry here. I'll just go over to you.
Yeah, I just remembered one thing. This is for Allison. In our personality development class, which I hold, I recall she mentioned that someone in the past told her, now, I think she was fixing herself, she was making, parang she was being her kikay self, and then she got a comment like, wag ka na mag-ayos ng ganyan because you cannot aspire to be a model. You will never be a model. Now that you have become a beauty queen, if you get a chance to meet that person again, what what would you like to, secret naming dalawa, what would you say to that person? And how will you advise anyone who receives the same comment as well?
I'm a strong believer that actions speak louder than words. And I think my achievements are speaking very loudly, especially to this person. And I'm just happy that even with all that negativity, that I never chose to be petty, or I never chose to stoop down to that level, because what Michelle Obama says, it's a quote I really like from her. She says that when they go low, we go high. And when you focus on yourself, despite what everyone says, only you know yourself and what you're capable of. And if you let other people hinder that, then you hinder yourself of your highest form. And so I'm so happy that I've achieved what I had. And if I do see this person again, what? I didn't say that. What?
No pronouns. Careful with pronouns.
When I do see that person again, hopefully I'm wearing the Miss Supranational crown, and that can show this person that we really shouldn't talk down to people, and that even if you put me down, I can still rise up.
I would just like to add additional advice for you, Allison. Same advice that I gave Pia Words back when she got a lot of bashing, and I told her the only comments that should matter are those which come from people who matter. Thank you.
Alright. Thank you very much, Tito Jerry, for that very thought-provoking question, I might add. Alright, does anybody else from our media friends have any questions? I'll just come to you po.
No. Thank you so much, girl.
You're welcome. Raed. Hi, Allison. Raed, can you tell us kung paano ka na-appoint as Mr. Supranational? Nasaan ka ba? Nasa gym ka ba? Natutulog ka ba? Sino ba nag-message sa'yo? Yeah. How did you get the appointment as Mr. Supranational Philippines?
Okay, the story is very funny because I was in the province because my uncle passed away. So at that moment, Ryan told me you have to come to the office. So a good thing I have a flight that day going to Manila. So what I did is I was running everywhere like so. I went to the barber to fix my hair. Good thing I brought my spray. Then I went to Uniqlo to buy some shirt to present myself for Sir Arnold. And then when I reached Manila on the airport, the taxis are a lot, so I tried to get Angkas, but he asked 500, so I said, okay, I'll wait for a taxi. So I was like panicking, so I don't want to be late because I learned like not to be late. So that's how it happened. So when I reached the office, he told me, you're appointed as Mr. Supranational Philippines.
Sino nag-message sa'yo? Sino nag-message?
Ryan.
Ryan pala. Anyway, congratulations, Raed. Actually, si Raed, sobrang kachika ko na siya before pa ma-assign as Mr. Supranational. Alam mo, last time nag-offer mo siya sa akin na dito sa kanila ng matulog. Kasi friendship naman kami ni Raed. Kasi alam niya kasi na every time may mga events kami, pag may mga events kasi syempre from Batangas, tapos, uy, Edge, parang hindi ka naman pagod dito, ganyan din. If you want, offer siya ng isang gabi. Sayang, no? Sana pala inanong ko na kagad. Gibrang ko kagad yung opportunity. Anyway, congratulations, and I'm so proud of you. And of course, Allison. Allison. Sino ito? And it's a good girl. Anyway, of course, congratulations. And question ko na lang, sino yung gusto mo maging ka-roommate? Of course, if given a chance to choose.
I think I would pick an Asian country, maybe Miss Indonesia, Miss Thailand, because we already follow each other actually on Instagram. We already talk on social media, and so if I could be roommates with a fellow Asian, I feel like that would be so exciting, and we can share instant noodles.
Good luck,
nakikipil ko talaga na talaga na
Yes.
course.
Thank you.
As Rudy Baldwin of joke lang. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you.